Hey, this is just going to be a quick, short, little video talking about I know a lot of people have already been talking about Alex Jones and InfoWars being banned from social media, from I think most of the major social media platforms. That's not news to anybody watching this at this point. What I wanted to respond to is some of the people talking about it saying this is why we have to have regulation of these platforms. This is why there has to be laws enforcing freedom of speech, forcing them to have these videos or these opinions that they don't agree with. And I just want to say I am fundamentally against that. Now, I am absolutely for Alex Jones, InfoWars, even the alt-right. I don't care who it is. Anybody has the right to speak. And yes, they should be permitted to speak on Facebook and on YouTube and all of these things. I don't like them being banned. That being said, I absolutely do not want laws that say you have to have all of this stuff, regardless of whether you agree with it, on your platforms. Because let's say that Facebook and YouTube just get so far left, so far gone, that everybody switches over to Minds and to Gab and to those, which I would say that's the proper reaction, by the way. If you're upset with what they're doing, switch to the other social media platforms. Support them. They will grow. They will become the mainstream, so to speak. They will replace Facebook and YouTube. If you have regulations saying you must have everything on there, then what's to prevent in 10 years when pedophilia has been pushed through by the far left, and Minds says, no, you cannot have child porn on our platform, and the law says, no, that is now acceptable. You must allow child porn on Minds. Okay, so what does Minds do at that point? Do they say, okay, well, it's a law, so we're going to let child porn be posted on our website? Or are they going to just shut down completely? This is why you don't want the law saying private companies must host all content. Think about where it's going to go. Okay, you must host live feeds of Muslims. Well, okay, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of some pretty horrific stuff that I don't even want to describe on screen, but just try to imagine the most horrific things you can imagine. And imagine then that you own a social media platform and the government is telling you, you must allow people to post this horrific, offensive material. You have no right to say no. That is not acceptable. So I know right now we're saying, oh, well, you should just allow anybody to say anything that's not hate speech. Or, well, I'm sorry, the left is saying we should allow anything that's not hate speech. The right is saying we should allow anything that is not promoting violence. The problem is when you say the government should regulate it, the government should mandate that all speech is allowed. You can't say, oh, well, unless it's promoting violence. How long is that going to stay law? It's not. The government is not the answer. Putting regulations in place that demand that all media platforms are promoting all speech, or I'm sorry, not promoting, even allowing all speech. It's just going to make it's going to make the problem seem better for right now, but it's going to create a monster long term, and it is in the end going to suppress speech, because anyone who is decent is not going to be able to participate in any form of social media. It's just it's long term. It's going to make a mess. It's a really, really bad answer. If it was a public utility, if Facebook was something that was started by the government, that was run by the government, then yes, absolutely, it would fall under First Amendment laws, at least in the US. I don't know about other countries. I don't know how that would work. But it isn't. It is a private company. There are a lot of other private companies. And again, if you don't like what they're doing, and trust me, I don't like what they're doing. I hate what they're doing. I think they need to stop. And I think that there should be campaigns to pressure them to stop, to pressure them to have free speech. But don't go through the government. Don't go through legislation. It's not the right answer. And I feel like I'm going to get very emotional if I continue to try to give examples, but I hope that I've made clear where I'm coming from. again, this is just meant to be a very short, unscripted video, just kind of to answer this, because when things like this happen, I think the tendency is for people to just react and say, oh, this is horrible. We need to stop it right now. Okay, who has the most authority? Who can we call on that is going to force these people not to do what we don't like them to do? The government, because they've got the guns. They've got the force. They can make them. You must do what I want you to do. If you call on that force to be used against someone else, it is going to turn around and be used against you too. And you might think, oh, nobody should be censored. Really think about that. Because practically no one believes that no one should be censored and that nothing should be censored. And the very few people who do believe that nothing should be censored are the people who watch and engage in child porn, are the people who are okay with seeing live streaming of torture. You know, it's just, and I don't know, if you are one of those people, I have no idea how you found my video, and I think you're a horrible person. Just disclaimer there. Anyway, that's all I had to say. Feel free to leave a comment below, and I'm horrible about getting back with commenters, but I'm trying to get better at that. So thank you, and I hope this gives people something to think about.